Yes, we might watch the rest of it later. And I'm quite sure you're all eager to hear from, and Mrs. Boaida just mentioned it, we're all eager to hear from you. You are, the government. Um, yes, because our hopes are really big to really put the Moroccan flag on the map, but it's already on the way. And there is this roadmap that's being announced and supposed to be launched in 2024. And I'm sure we will hear about it in few uh, during this first session, the high-level international session, and it's green hydrogen and road to COP28. So there is the thematic of this first international and high-level session that will be chaired by Her Excellency Mrs. Leila Ben Ali, Minister of Energy Transition and Sustainable Development of the Kingdom of Morocco. Mrs. Minister, yes, please. And it's my pleasure to welcome on stage the Minister of Petroleum, Mines and Energy of Mauritania, His Excellency Mr. Nani Wilshuruga. And now I call on stage Her Excellency Mrs. Arlette Soudan Nono, Minister of Environment, Sustainable Development, and the Congo Bassin. And yeah, I just have been told that she couldn't make it. So he is representing the BMZ, the Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, Mr. Jochen Flasbart. And last but by no means least, Her Excellency Patricia Pilar Lombard-Cusack, Ambassador, Head of the Delegation of the European Union to Morocco. Ladies and gentlemen, and the applause, a warm of applause. So I might handle you the mic, Mrs. Ben Ali, for just the way you feel it. Maybe, okay, to the stage. Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Excellency Wilshuruga, Minister of Petroleum and Energy from Mauritania, Mr. Jochen Flasbart, State Secretary from BMZ in Germany, Her Excellency Patricia Lombard, Ambassador Head of the EU Delegation to Morocco, Your Excellency, Mr. Jazouli, our Minister of Delegate to the Head of Government for Investment and Convergence of Public Policies, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning. First of all, our thoughts and prayers are with the victims of the devastating earthquake, and we stand here to help and to support. This was, of course, a unique moment of national and international solidarity. And as Moroccans, our sincere thanks to all the people who supported our country. Thank you for coming from every part of the world, for showing up here in Marrakesh today, 150 kilometers away from the epicenter of the earthquake, 12 days or 11 days after the tragic earthquake. 11 days ago, some of us were actually here, gathered in Marrakesh, to celebrate the beauty of geology, the beauty of nature, as part of the 10th UNESCO Global Geoparks Conference, if you remember. And I was standing before some of you, holding a beautiful quartz, a product of our geology. And I was wearing the same outfit that I'm wearing today. Because today, 11 days later, we want to acknowledge the power of geology. We want to acknowledge the power of nature, and we want to pay tribute to the victims, wherever they are. Nature is reminding us more frequently of the triple planetary crisis: climate, biodiversity loss, pollution, that we are living. And I would like also to take this stance to express our solidarity with our sisters and brothers in Libya and convey our deepest condolences. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And inna ba'da al-usri yusra. After hardship comes ease. And for some of our francophone friends, après la difficulté vient le soulagement. Nature is reminding us that we need to build a more resilient social and economic model. And we remain committed to strengthen the resilience of the regions while supporting in every possible way the affected populations. So our deep gratitude goes to the representatives of different public and private, national and international organizations and initiatives present in this annual gathering in the beautiful and hospitable city of Marrakesh. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your engagement to accelerate our energy transition paradigm. Together, of course, we will emerge stronger. Together, we can keep our net zero targets alive while supporting our populations to finish the month. Congratulations to the organizers, our Research Institute for Solar and New Energy, IRESEN, Polytechnique University Mohammed VI, UMCSP, in partnership with the Green Hydrogen Cluster for holding the event despite the tragic context. And it's my great honor to chair this high-level international session of the World Power to X Summit. I think we're also gathered here today, also I suspected, because we agree on one hypothesis, the hypothesis that power to X, power to whatever you want to produce with power, could represent a sensible solution to decarbonize particularly hard to abate sectors. Some of us, and I see a few of you in the room, are evangelists of power to X. And others, and I can see in the other half of the room, are yet to be fully convinced of the economics of power to X. And Morocco has developed an extensive field, an extensive experience in this field, and we are leveraging the lessons from that experience. Our strategy is very clear. You've heard me talk about it before. We need to multiply our annual investments in renewable by 3. We need to strengthen our grids. We need to invest more in storage and in flexibility, including, for example, natural gas. And we need to multiply the pace of annual investments of the latter by 4. So to build that more agile and resilient energy system and prepare for the future hydrogen economy, we intend to invest in partnership with the private sector between $1 and $2 billion per year in a continuous and consistent manner. And to do so, we need 2 things. We need to follow a rigorous and pragmatic approach to reach our objectives, one of them being the 52% renewable capacity before 2030. And 2, we know that we need an inclusive approach to mitigate technology and fuel risks. Again, learning from past experience that taught us that complacency was not an option. To answer Mrs. President of Gulmim Wadnoun's region regarding Morocco's assets in green hydrogen and its derivatives. You already know, you all already know. Number one, exceptional wind and solar potential in several regions of the country. Number two, political and regulatory stability with business-friendly environment for private investors. Number three, advanced partnerships with the European Union as part of the Green Deal, with the Americas, and we should augment those partnerships with more programmatic, cooperation agreements. Number four, infrastructure. We are the only African country that is connected to Europe, electricity-wise, gas-wise, logistically, bidirectionally, and more is planned to strengthen that connectivity. We have good infrastructure planning and execution, including with the private sector to scale it up, since we will need larger ports, new pipelines, modern grids, storage facilities, etc. So our role as policymakers, our role as investors, our role as professionals is in a changing industrial and technology space with multi-year investment plans, is to wisely manage the expectations of our communities. And that's why I want to stress a couple of points. First, we all know, whether we are evangelists or we still want to be convinced by the economics, there are still many building blocks towards a viable hydrogen economy. So one key driving principle of the Morocco hydrogen offer is competitiveness through an appropriate allocation of risks, of technology and financial risks between public and private stakeholders. And the last thing we want, and I know some of the economists in the room will get me when I say that, the last thing we want is to subsidize stranded assets in a stagflationary environment. Again, learning from experience. Remember, some of us in many parts of the world did exactly that in the solar space right after the 2008 financial crisis. Well, this time we should say that we know better. We are here to build together sustainable business models. We are here to solve together the global electrolyzer capacity bottlenecks and the supply chain bottlenecks. We are here to define together the quick wins in terms of offtake models, in terms of consuming industries and sectors, which hydrogen derivatives will prevail in which sector, and what carbon sources can we monetize, for example, for methanol production. So I'm here today to tell you that let's make this a joint success. And as a government that is working very closely with the private sector to mitigate the risks on all of the above, we will need a higher level of transparency on the economics than in the past. We will need to test this together with a science-based approach. We will need to handle together the security and logistical challenges of a flammable gas. And please, when we meet in the break, don't lecture me about the amount of oxygen that you need to make hydrogen flammable. In my wish list, since I'm talking about my wish list, I'd say open books in every step of the way until we reach maturity together. And our role as policymakers is to make your life easier when you invest in our country. And let's not forget why we are all here. It's for the people. The human that we put at the center of our social and economic model. We need to be inclusive. We need to turn industrial integration and local manufacturing into an additional competitive advantage, not into a cost premium. particularly in those areas that I mentioned with exceptional wind and solar potential that are craving investments and in craving job creations. So, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to make this new industry a reality in Morocco. Of course, we invite national and international partners and investors to join us in this learning curve. We will win this energy transition and will be more resilient together in the face of tomorrow's challenges. We already started working with some of you with this new spirit of transparency and good governance, a science-based dialogue, that's why we are all here, reflective of the 21st century challenges, to properly define together your business model, your offtake, your investment plan, and your infrastructure plan. And for the government, from the government standpoint, we ensure that there is a simplified investor path and that our policies, including access to lands, are well coordinated from the central level to the very, very local level. And finally, I really wanted to conclude with a call to action. Tonight, we'll be having Operation Power to People. While we are here this week, let's not just talk about technology. Let's demonstrate its utility. And you have an open lab 100 kilometers away from here. We want to rebuild 50,000 houses. We want to rebuild 500 schools after the earthquake. Let's work together to build back better and more sustainably. And more importantly as well, provide low-cost, sustainable utilities to the populations who suffered the most. Let's explore what we can do together in mini-grids, in smart grids, in batteries and storage, in distributed generation, in energy efficient and smart housing in these areas. So ladies and gentlemen, power to the people. I wish you very fruitful discussions and partnerships today as we embark together in our sustainable energy transition. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Ben Ali. Thank you so much. Very strong speech, and very transparent and realistic, I should say, but pragmatic as well. Pragmatic speech, yes, indeed. Now, His Excellency Nani Wild Shrouga, Minister of Petroleum, Mines and Energy of Mauritania, has some words to share with us. If à votre aise. Voilà.
شكرا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبيه الكريم. Je suis venu ici pour participer à ce sommet sur l'invitation de ma collègue que je remercie au passage. Mais c'est pour promouvoir cette transformation énergétique. Je peux parler longtemps dans cette thématique au vu de mon background. J'ai aussi peux parler de la promotion de l'hydrogène vert en Mauritanie et égard au potentiel important de ce pays, mais je ne veux pas bruiter mon message. Mon message, c'est d'être ici, en ce moment précis, pour manifester la solidarité et pour rendre hommage à toutes ces victimes au Maroc et à Marrakech particulièrement. Mes condoléances donc vont au Maroc, à son Altesse le Roi, au gouvernement, au peuple marocain. Vous avez la manifestation de la solidarité de la Mauritanie et les condoléances du président de la République, Mohamed El Cheikh El Ghazouani, qui a insisté à ce que je sois là aujourd'hui. Et merci.
Yes, before hearing from Mr. Flasbart, um, Mrs. Tine van der Straten, Minister of Energy of Belgium, couldn't make it with us today, but she insisted to address a message to the participants that we will follow on the video. That's on a la vidéo. Okay, Mr. Jochen Flasbach, we have some surprises today, but anyways, we're handling them with a smile. Some, so you have some words to share with us, and please, if you want to join the stage and address your.
Dear Minister, Chair of this session, dear Laila Benouli, dear Minister Jazuli, all protocol observed, simply dear friends. A warm welcome also from my side here to this very important conference in Marrakesh. It is relevant, it is important, especially as has been mentioned by so many others in these times. Colleagues and friends, it's really difficult to find the right words, as others shared this with us. On the one hand, I want to say I'm really happy to be here. But are these times of happiness? No, surely not. These are times of sadness, looking at all the many victims of the horrible earthquake. And all our sympathy is with those who lost their beloved. And I want to offer my heartfelt condolences on behalf of the German government to the Morocco government and to the people of Morocco. Germany, as many other countries, stays at your side. Ladies and gentlemen, if I think about Marrakesh, I think about solutions. And it was back in 2016 when we had COP16 here in Marrakesh, and it was one after Paris. After exhaustive years of negotiations, one step forward, two steps backwards, and another attempt. And then in Paris, due to the leadership of our French friends, we got the breakthrough. And then we met here in Marrakesh again. And so what now? We have an agreement, it had been ratified, but now it was about implementation, walking the talk. And at that time, Morocco and Germany created the NDC partnership. And I would say, and I'm proud to say, that this was during the last years since 2016, the most relevant implementation partnership after the establishment of the Paris Agreement. And it was about, I think, Lala, you said jointly, in the Paris Agreement, it says mutually. It's one of the best words in the whole Paris Agreement. Not doing everything each one by himself, each country, each company, each part of the civil society, to do it mutually. And that was in the nutshell of the NDC partnership. It was about, well, what are our commitments? How to enhance our commitments over the time, and more than that, how to find the right pathways and the right solutions to climate neutrality. At that time, we thought climate neutrality would be something for the highest industrialized countries like mine and others. After the IPCC special report on 1.5 degree, we all know that it is something each and every country has to apply to, in solidarity, of course, and those who have the capability, the sources, have to support those who are in need. But at the end, we all have to do it. And speaking about solutions, we are exactly here at this World PTX Summit. And let me be very clear on that. There will be no climate neutral world without green hydrogen. It's impossible. We can think about many solutions, if you want to achieve 80%, 75, 80, 85% greenhouse gas reduction, if you want to get it to zero, no way without green hydrogen. We have many areas where we can decarbonize our systems, our economy without green hydrogen. In the electricity sector, also in the traffic and transport sector, also heating and cooling. But once it comes, and you mentioned it, the hard to abate sectors, steel, non-iron metals, chemicals, also green fertilizers. All this is either not doable without green hydrogen, or it is extremely expensive, and definitely those on the side with economics, definitely not something we can go for. Now this changes a lot in the world, because those who can provide to these solutions and provide support to these solutions are differently from those who had done it in the past. Sometimes there is an overlap, but a country like Morocco, but also others, you mentioned at the greeting words, we heard some of them, and Mauritania is definitely one of those as well. These countries now can provide green hydrogen as a basis for the decarbonization in countries like mine. We can do a lot ourselves in Germany, but we are not as privileged as your country is with regard to radiation and all the circumstances and preconditions that are needed to build up a robust green hydrogen economy. Morocco is definitely in the driving seat, in the forefront, because you were an early mover. And we heard about the electricity production in Nor Guazazate. Germany was partnering with Morocco on that one as well. And now you are going the next step in large-scale, industrial-scale green hydrogen production. I'm very proud that Germany, again, is a partner for Morocco to establish this first high-scale, large-scale industrial hydrogen facility here in Morocco. But this is not only, this is not a national PTX summit in Morocco, it's a world PTX summit. And there are many other countries in the same position or in a similar position, and they can speed up and they can do as well. And that is, again, what we need to do mutually, to learn from each other, in this case, to learn a lot from Morocco. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the end, ministers, everybody would have understood if you would have canceled this conference. You did not, as well as the World Bank summit in a couple of, and IMF summit in a couple of days. Everybody would have understood it, but you decided to take the responsibility to continue to take leadership. And that is why we admire you so much. It's only doable on the basis of the brave and solidaric people of Morocco. Thanks a lot.
So yes, mutually bilateral cooperation is key point in acceding to this hope and this future. I've been informed that the video is now ready.
Dear Minister Ben Ali, dear ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to express Belgium's deepest solidarity with the Moroccan people and the Moroccan authorities following the devastating earthquake that hit your country in the night of Friday, 8 September. Our hearts go out to all those affected. Our thoughts are with the families who have lost their loved ones, the injured, and those who have lost their homes and livelihoods. In times of difficulties, it is crucial that we come together as a global community. Morocco has shown resilience and strength in the face of this tragedy. The solidarity demonstrated by the Moroccan people is a source of admiration and inspiration to all of us. And we are here to express our long-standing commitment to our partnership with Morocco not only in this very moment, but also in the future. As we look to the future, one area where we can cooperate and make a significant difference is in the field of energy, and specifically in the field of green hydrogen. Hydrogen is a clean and sustainable energy source that holds enormous potential to address the challenges of climate change and build a more sustainable world. It has the power to reduce carbon emissions, to enhance energy security, and to create economic opportunities. And to make this future happen, we have to act today, because there are still challenges to be addressed in widespread adoption of renewable hydrogen, like the cost of production and distribution, or the development of infrastructure for import, storage, and transportation. And of course, the need for international standards and regulations, the need for a conclusive hydrogen certification. Challenges we will all overcome by working together. In Belgium, you will find a partner. We are implementing our national hydrogen strategy. With our infrastructure for import, storage, and transportation, Belgium is becoming the hydrogen gateway to Europe. We believe in the power of cooperation and the power to people, and we are committed to working hand in hand with Morocco in harnessing the potential of hydrogen. Together, we can invest in research and development. Together, we can build the necessary infrastructure, and together we can promote the use of hydrogen as a clean energy source. This cooperation will not only benefit our nations, but it will also contribute to a greener and a more sustainable planet for future generations. In times of crisis and beyond, let us remember the strength of unity and the strength of cooperation. We stand with Morocco today. We stand with Morocco in the future as we embark on a journey towards a more sustainable and resilient world, powered by the many possibilities of hydrogen. Belgium and its companies stand ready to engage with their Moroccan counterparts today at the conference, but also in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm sure the Belgian companies are in the room today. Can we hear some of the Belgian companies, maybe representatives? Yes. Welcome. And I shall say good luck. Intense work for this summit for you guys. Her Excellency Patricia Pilar Lombard-Cusack, Ambassador, Head of the Delegation of the European Union to Morocco. And we're talking about bilateral cooperation, and I'm sure the European Commission has. Please, you want to use the stage?
Thank you very much. Salam alaikum. Madam Minister, Minister for Investment, Ministers, Secretary of State, Presidents, Director Generals, Executive Directors, experts, dear participants. I have the task this morning to give some work to the translators because I have prepared my intervention in French. So I will be addressing yourself in French. Donc, je voudrais d'abord me joindre à tous ceux qui m'ont précédé pour exprimer mon émotion d'être ici à Marrakech 10 jours seulement après le terrible séisme qui a affecté la région. Je voudrais présenter au nom de l'Union européenne et de ces 27 États membres qui se sont adressés dans un message de condoléances et de support à Sa Majesté le Roi, nos sincères condoléances à Sa Majesté le Roi, au gouvernement marocain, à la société marocaine et en particulier aux proches des victimes, des proches des victimes que j'ai eu l'opportunité de rencontrer les dernières heures et qui m'ont énormément impressionné par leur solidarité et leur résilience dans ces moments d'extrême difficulté. L'Union européenne et ses 27 États membres se tiennent aux côtés du Maroc dans cette épreuve. Nous sommes pleinement disponibles pour accompagner le Maroc, son gouvernement et sa population dans l'urgence ou pour soutenir les efforts à venir dans la reconstruction de cette magnifique région chère au cœur de beaucoup d'Européens également. Le fait que ce sommet d'aujourd'hui se tient à Marrakech si peu de temps après les séismes, nous le comprenons comme un signal fort de la résilience du Maroc et de la volonté, de la détermination de poursuivre son engagement climatique et en faveur de la transition verte malgré les épreuves. Mesdames et messieurs, comme le montre la large participation et l'intérêt qui suscite les sommets qui nous réunissent aujourd'hui, le marché de l'hydrogène offre des perspectives particulièrement prometteuses. L'hydrogène a vocation à devenir un élément central pour décarboner nos systèmes énergétiques et ainsi réaliser nos ambitions climatiques. L'hydrogène porte également d'immenses opportunités pour la croissance économique et peut devenir un facteur clé pour le renforcement des relations commerciales, industrielles, énergétiques entre l'Europe et ses voisins du sud de la Méditerranée, et notamment le Maroc. L'hydrogène peut aussi être un moteur important de création d'emplois et développement économique pour les régions et les pays. Et vous l'avez dit, Madame la Ministre, pour les gens, pour les peuples. And with the people at the center, and as we said, to leave no one behind in this transformation. En Europe, la Commission européenne a adopté en 2020 sa stratégie sur l'hydrogène qui prévoit une trajectoire progressive pour accélérer le développement de l'hydrogène propre entre 2020 et 2050. L'Union européenne est désormais en train de finaliser son cadre réglementaire sur l'hydrogène qui couvre tous les aspects de la chaîne des valeurs. Depuis la COP27 l'année dernière, nous avons conclu un accord provisoire en Europe sur des objectifs de demande en matière d'utilisation de l'hydrogène renouvelable dans l'industrie et dans les transports. Nous avons également adopté des règles concernant les critères de production et d'hydrogène renouvelable. Et nous sommes en train de préparer la première liste de projets d'infrastructures d'hydrogène comprenant des pipelines, des installations de stockage et des terminaux. Cela a comme objectif d'apporter un cadre clair à la fois pour l'industrie et pour les décideurs politiques. Dans le cadre de la stratégie Repower EU, nous avons l'intention de produire à l'Union européenne 10 millions de tonnes d'hydrogène renouvelable et d'importer 10 autres millions d'ici 2030. Nous avons pour cela identifié une série de corridors stratégiques nécessaires au transport de cet hydrogène. La région Méditerranée est clairement l'un d'entre eux, avec la mer du Nord et l'Ukraine. Ces développements seront notamment appuyés par la stratégie européenne Global Gateway, visant à développer des liens intelligents, propres et sûrs dans les domaines du numérique, de l'énergie et des transports dans le monde entier et qui prévoit de mobiliser plus de 300 milliards d'euros d'investissement entre 2021 et 2027 par ce qu'on appelle les Team Europe, l'équipe Europe, c'est-à-dire les institutions de l'Union européenne et les États membres de l'Union européenne. Dans ces contextes, nous sommes particulièrement heureux de voir émerger une forte collaboration entre les entreprises européennes et marocaines dans les domaines du développement de l'hydrogène et des énergies renouvelables. Plusieurs projets sont en cours de développement pour produire de l'hydrogène et ses dérivés. Cela permettra aux entreprises européennes et marocaines, par exemple, d'acquérir une expérience pratique dans l'établissement des premières routes commerciales. Cela donnera la confiance aux investisseurs et cela marquera aussi la création de projets d'infrastructures hydrogène nécessaires au transport de l'hydrogène à travers la Méditerranée. Mesdames et Messieurs, en Europe, l'invasion russe en Ukraine nous a ouvert les yeux sur l'importance de nouveaux partenariats stratégiques à l'épreuve des temps. Avec ses vastes ressources énergétiques, sa proximité avec l'Europe et les liens forts d'amitié et de coopération qui se sont développés entre tous les niveaux, gouvernemental, entre entrepreneurs, sociétés et humains du Maroc et l'Union européenne, le Maroc devient un partenaire naturel pour construire telles relations. Ainsi, et Madame la ministre, vous l'avez mentionné, ce n'est pas par hasard que le Maroc a été le premier pays avec lequel l'Union européenne a développé un partenariat vert, un Green Partnership, que nous avons lancé l'an dernier. Il est devenu le cadre politique de notre coopération sur les questions vertes et a permis de les mettre au premier plan de notre relation. Depuis qu'il a été signé il y a un mois, l'Union européenne et le Maroc, nous avons multiplié les contacts à tous les niveaux, techniques et politiques à plus haut niveau. Nous avons développé ensemble un plan d'action ambitieux pour ces partenariats verts dans les domaines de la transition énergétique, l'adaptation au changement climatique, la protection de l'environnement et la promotion de l'économie verte et bleue. Évidemment, l'hydrogène vert a une place importante dans ces partenariats verts. Nous avons un certain nombre d'outils de coopération et d'expertise prêts à être mobilisés pour nous permettre de partager l'expérience et d'approfondir la coopération mutuelle, c'est un mot qui a été beaucoup répété ce matin, entre le Maroc et l'Union européenne dans les prochains mois. Le programme régional MEDGEM de soutien au développement des molécules électrons vertes dans la région Méditerranée vient également de commencer et le Maroc y participe encore activement. Ce programme renforcera la coopération dans les domaines de l'hydrogène et favorisera les échanges entre gouvernements, industrie et aussi secteur financier. Mesdames et Messieurs, comme I will finish in English, as it was stated by the Commission President only 1 week ago when she addressed the European Parliament on the occasion of the State of the Union. The European Union remains firmly committed to transform its economy into an economy carbon neutrality. You mentioned evangelist. We may be seen as evangelists, but we are not naive and we know the effort it will take. And this is an effort that we have to undertake together and that we are committed to undertake with our partners around the world. Cooperation between the European Union and Morocco on hydrogen is essential to seize the opportunities that it can bring. The role of the private sector will be essential. I want to finish by congratulating the organizers for this magnificent event, despite the very difficult circumstances, and wish you all a very successful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Yamba. We'll now proceed with the final speech of this high-level international session this morning. It's from the Director General of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, Mr. Gerd Müller.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, greetings from Vienna, from UNIDO. I'm very glad to speak to you all here today. First of all, accept my deepest condolences and support to the people and government of Morocco after the horrible earthquake. My thoughts are with all those affected. I want to thank the Kingdom of Morocco and the Minister of Energy Transition and Sustainable Development and all their key partners. I'm glad to speak here for UNIDO and speak up especially for the critical topic of developing green hydrogen, especially on the road to COP28. Climate change remains one of the most pressing challenges of our time. We have all seen it this past year. Record temperatures globally and natural disasters increasing in intensity showcased. Half measures avail us nothing. We need to go full speed towards our climate and renewable energy goals. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is to be done? Industry plays a crucial role in the renewable energy transition. It is a vital pillar of the global economy with a key role to play in green transition. Green hydrogen and power-to-X technologies offer a pathway towards a clean energy transition. UNIDO and the Kingdom of Morocco have established a partnership highlighting the importance of uptaking green hydrogen. In line with Morocco's roadmap for green hydrogen, Morocco has demonstrated its strong potential to lead on power-to-X production and export. UNIDO will support Morocco in achieving its targets in the green hydrogen roadmap. Morocco is a frontrunner, and UNIDO is proud of our global program for green hydrogen in industry. We will cooperate with Morocco to support the development of green hydrogen industrial clusters and value chains, policies, and regulatory frameworks. Through policy dialogue with public and private stakeholders, we press knowledge transfer and capacity building. Together, we will promote the adoption of this promising technology for a sustainable and decarbonized future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I will